Your favorite food and lifestyle show, The Fat Kid Outside, hosted by your very own Gwenn Lizares. Woo! Morning, everybody. How are all of you doing? So I'm so glad to be back in our show once again. I really had a good time 3 weeks ago with my work/vacation with Gallivanter's Guide. I'll be contributing a full-page article in their upcoming issue, and I hope you guys will check it out, okay? For those of you who don't know, Gallivanter's Guide is a privately published travel advisory serving the needs of world's high-class, high-end travelers, especially those hotel aficionados. So I went across different parts of Asia, Europe, America, and guess what? Guess what the best part is? It's food! It's called The Fat Kid Outside because this segment is all about food. And so our main topic for today is going to be international cuisine across cultures. So after trying out several different cuisines, I had so many questions in my mind how exactly each cuisine differ across different cultures. So I invited some of the icons in the food industry who I met along my luxury escape to give light on this mouth-watering topic. To introduce them, first off, the senior Japanese critic and wine connoisseur from the famous Michelin Guide, Mr. Joseph Takashi. Let's give him a round of applause. Second is the head modern American culinary instructor at Le Cordon Bleu, Las Vegas, Nevada, Miss Gwenn Berkeley. Third is the chef de cuisine in one of Paris' France top restaurant, namely Pierre Garnier, Mr. Jerv. And the owner of Amman Resorts, a hotelier, and a famous Mediterranean restaurateur, Mr. Erwin. Alright, have a seat, guests. So good morning, how are you guys feeling today? Use the microphone, guys. How are you feeling today? Oh, okay, I think you guys are good. Are you having the chills? Huh?
I'm kind of nervous.
Actually, at the backstage, saw him doing some chants in the mirror.
Who's doing some chants? You?
Yeah, me?
Yeah, I saw it.
Wait, do you guys know each other?
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, actually there's a
Pretty
thin
much.
line between all the chefs and critics in the world. Especially those who attend conventions around the world.
Oh, that's good. So I don't need to break the ice anymore, ladies and gentlemen, because these guys know each other already. So, alright, so our topic for today, chefs and critiques, is international cuisine across different cultures. So we've invited you here so our audience can know more about the international cuisines and how it relates to different cultures. So I'll be asking each of you a series of questions and you should respond accordingly. At the end of the question and answer portion, we'll be opening the floor for questions from the audience if we still have time. Alright? So, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the ball rolling. First, what is your philosophy or perspective in culinary? So let's start with you, Mr. Takashi, for the Asian perspective.
Well, Asian cuisine is very colorful. It is a celebration of life. That's why I see it more into flavor. If you can notice, Asian cuisine is more into spicy and flavorful food because they use home-style cooking and are not into much into garnish. But the Chinese side is more the sauce side, and Japanese uses more food, make their food more presentable. Sorry.
I see. I can see the similarities between Korean, Thai, Malaysian, and other Asian culinary cuisines. Actually, I can remember, Mr. Takashi, that these dishes being warm colors served in stew, a soup, or stir fry, right?
Yep. Yes, because it embraces the country's culture, geography, and history. It makes a feeling of eating at the comfort of your own home.
I see. But upon my visit in Europe, I can't help but notice that European cuisine has an exquisite and sophisticated touch, contrary to that of the Asian perspective when it comes to cooking. So, Jerv, can you tell us more about this?
Being a chef in France and in Paris for a long time, I am able to have the philosophy that what you cook describes yourself. So whatever you do, you must do it your best and in detail. That's why many of the foods in France are they're using a lot of garnish in it, and the presentation is really a big chunk of the whole dish.
So it's more on the personal attributes of the cook instead of the recipe itself. Is that what you're saying?
Actually, the recipe is important, but without the move of passion of the cook itself, they can never apply the skills needed for a certain dish.
I see, I see. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have two perspectives that seem to be different in their approach in culinary. So, if Jerv and Joseph have different perspectives, how about the Mediterranean cuisine? This is very interesting because the Mediterranean region lies between the three continents and have different cuisines among them. So, Erwin, what can you say about this, sir?
There are a lot of Mediterranean foods that act like a jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades?
Yeah, it has sophistication and style cooking. But the cornerstone of this cuisine is healthy lifestyle.
I like that, healthy lifestyle.
Actually, there's a lot of recipes of salads in here, and also meat dishes are done with less grease and with the healthy olive oil. So you can see how healthy these foods are right now. And another thing is that this cuisine is originally a diet plan, but because of this great dishes formed from it and the various cells it entails, it became a cuisine that's making it a very interesting subject to discuss.
I see, I see. So the main point about there is that Mediterranean cuisine is basically a healthy cuisine, right?
You're
So, I just want to confirm, Erwin, are the famous hummus, baba ganoush, and the all-time favorite pizza a part of the Mediterranean cuisine?
Yeah, yes, definitely. You can actually observe that these foods are healthy, right? Yeah, and
I eat healthy food.
yeah, hummus is made from chickpeas and olive oil, and the baba ganoush is an eggplant-based dish with olive oil.
I like baba ganoush.
And also the authentic pizzas. They are made from fresh dough, tomatoes, cheese, and also olive oil. And some they put some seafoods and curd meats.
So the olive oil is really a big chunk of the Mediterranean cuisine, right?
Yes, it is. Because it tastes good, it has no cholesterol, and it's also an antioxidant.
I see. Aren't the topics or the discussions that our guests are talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, making you hungry? Yeah, well, I'm getting hungry. I wasn't able to eat my breakfast before this. Anyway, so this is getting more and more interesting. So let's go to what people see as the most innovative, casual, and modern cuisine. So what's the philosophy behind the American cuisine, Gwenn?
Well, the American cuisine is pretty much attached to pop culture. For me, the kitchen is like a playpen/science lab. Yeah, you're there to enjoy and discover the worlds of culinary. That is why classic American cuisine have fish sticks, nachos, buffalo wings, Philly cheesesteaks, mac and cheese, in which such dishes have seemed to be all-time favorites, especially for kids.
Yeah, I really get it, Gwenn. But I can't help but notice that American cuisine is filled with oil, cheese, and these greasy stuff, But don't get me wrong, okay? This segment or this show is called The Fat Kid Outside for a reason, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. And they're the most convenient cuisine too, isn't it?
Exactly. American cuisine is about having the best taste for the convenience of every person. However, yes, some dishes are quite greasy.
Yeah, but who can resist the sinful and greasy food, right?
Yeah.
So, let's just go to the gym after and burn it anyway. Alright, so next question. Can you give me a single word descriptions of your respective cuisines? Okay, give me a single word descriptions of your respective cuisines. Let's start with you, Mr. Takashi.
Rice-based.
Rice-based. Okay, so Asian is rice-based.
Yeah, of course.
What do you mean, Mr. Takashi, rice-based? Please explain it. Expound.
Because rice is mostly found in every region of the East of Asia. It is found in different dishes like the Philippine kare-kare. Ground rice grains are used by people for sauce thickener, and there's also porridges, yeah, and also rice cakes and rice flour.
So rice can be used as a sauce thickener. That's something new. I didn't know that.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for that, Mr. Kashi. So how about you, Gwenn?
Well, American cuisine is casual, convenient, sinful, and
Oh, I like that. Simple.
how do I describe this? Weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
Weird in what way? American
Weird-
cuisine is weird.
Weird in a
Interesting.
way that, well, let's say because of too much infusions and experiments, we were able to make dishes that are very, very unique that seem to be overrated and weird.
Yeah, I think I understand what you were trying to say. Is it like experiments like fried mac and cheese and fried New York cheesecake?
Exactly. But not to mention fried Twinkies, fried Mars and fried burger.
Well, everything seems to be really fried, Gwenn. Alright.
I know, right? It's because you only live once. YOLO. However, we still have jambalaya, a cousin of paella, and the famous burrito, which is not fried, thank you. But we have chimichangas, which is fried burrito.
Well, that's the spirit, Gwenn, and thank you very much. So how about you, Jerv?
The European cuisine is, I think it is exquisite. It's sophisticated, exalted,
Ooh, that sounds so sexy, Jerv. I like it.
and cute actually.
Cute. Okay, that isn't sexy. Okay. Anyway, so can you please expound more on this, Jerv?
Actually, I need not to explain the exquisite part, right? So, that's why it's cute, because there are a lot of dishes and pastries that comes in different colors, and it seems really cute, like the macaron de Paris and the French gâteau.
Okay. Wow. Okay, thank you for pronouncing that correctly, Jerv. Okay, so what is this macaron de Paris and gâteau?
Macaron de Paris is the soft sugar shells with fillings of cream, usually coconut cream.
I really like the name, Jerv. It sounds so sexy. Macaron de Paris.
Yeah, macaron de Paris. Yeah. And then the French gâteau is actually just a French cake, but usually it's layers of soft sponge cakes with fruits and cream.
Okay, so thank you for that, Jerv. How about the entree and how do you pronounce this?
Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres. Okay, very complicated words. Okay, hors d'oeuvres. How about the entrees and hors d'oeuvres? What do you mean by exotic?
I have in Pierre Garnier, in our restaurant in France, we have this foie gras. It is a
This is having a crush on your accent, your
it is
pronunciation.
a, it is a, it is a duck liver dish, and we have this escargot. It is a land snail dish, which is an entree in Pierre Garnier.
Yeah, I tried those dishes, Jerv, in your restaurant. The foie gras and the escargot. Yeah, in our trips, remember? Yeah, and guys, it really tastes so good. Jerv, you should cook for them sometime. Okay, so, well, how about the Mediterranean cuisine, Erwin? Can you please describe it to us?
There are too many words used already. Anyways, I think it's deep and subtle and healthy.
Deep. You're going poetic on me, man. Deep. Okay, so what do you mean by deep and subtle at the same time?
Well, if you tried most of the meat dishes, it is always cooked with cumsy, which is a very smoky and intense flavor and foul odor. Yeah. But because of so many sides and other vegetables and cream, dishes usually ends up being rich in taste, but subtle in tongue. And eating Mediterranean dishes feels like running your tongue across smooth, edible cheese. It's really rich, smooth, however deep in flavor.
Wow, Erwin, that was really mouth-watering. Okay. So next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have a small activity. So the four of you guests, I want you to distinguish different iconic dishes from your cuisines based on the pictures that I'm going to flash on the screen. Right? Okay. So can we start? First picture. Oh, there's a lot. Okay, that's making me hungry. Name that dish, game. Let's start.
That's chicken tandoori. It's roasted chicken with yogurt and
Chicken
spices
tandoori.
from India.
Chicken tandoori from India. Is spicy? Is it spicy?
Spicy.
I like spicy. Okay. Next picture. Okay, what's that? Empanada.
No, that's Jamaican patty.
Oh,
It is, yeah, it is a famous pastry pocket in America filled with seasoned ground pork or beef.
Jamaican patty. Okay, I'll take note of that. Next. Ooh, what's that?
That is ratatouille. It's a famous.
It's a movie.
Yeah,
Disney movie, Ratatouille.
But that's not actually the real presentation for ratatouille. Ratatouille is actually stew. That ratatouille
A
is-
stew?
Yeah, ratatouille is ratatouille. That ratatouille is the one in the film.
Didn't serve that when I visited the restaurant there, Ratatouille.
Yeah, because normally it's not served in high-end restaurants because it's a peasant dish.
So kailangan mo
It's
i-low
a,
class.
no. It's a
I'm just
staple dish.
Alright, let's move on to the next picture. Okay, next picture. What's that? Fish
That-
fillet.
No, that's trout manure. Oh,
Manure?
manure.
Okay, that's okay. Good thing it's not trout manure. I'm just kidding, okay. Okay, moving on. Okay, what is it about? Can you
It is
describe
a fish dish drenched in flour and pan-seared in a soup. It's made of sauce of butter and herbs.
Okay, next picture. Thank you, Gwenn. Okay, that's Sanchirban. No? Hello? What's that?
Yeah, that's baklava.
What? Baklava?
Yeah.
Baklava you? No, what?
It sounds funny, but that's the name of
That's
the
the name, baklava. Okay.
Yeah. That food is a layer of pastry sheets and sweet nuts as filling.
Okay, now this one and next one. The next one I'm familiar with. I love that food. It's brazos and Mercedes, if not wrong.
You're correct. It is a soft meringue with roll filled with egg yolk and blanchier. And it is from the Philippines. No Philippines.
Yeah, I really like the yellow part. You know, it's so tasty. Okay, moving on. Okay, that's shawarma. No?
No, it's not shawarma.
What's that?
Wait.
It's meat on a wrapper.
Yeah, that's gyros. We call that gyros, and it's a Greek snack, usually made of meat, tomato, and onions, and wrapped in pita bread, like shawarma.
Like shawarma. Shawarma. Next picture. What's that? Kare-kare.
It's again a French dish. It's beef bourguignon.
What?
Beef bourguignon.
Beef bourguignon. Repeat after him. I'm just kidding. Beef bourguignon. Okay, what is it about?
It's actually. Do you know the Korean beef stew?
Yes.
It's actually the French version of it.
I see. Okay. I like the Korean beef too. I usually eat it in Veracruz. Anyway, so thank you very much for that activity. Now, that was fun and appetizing, and I'm sure you felt that way too. So, anyway, going back. So, what do you think is the main reason? Guess, listen to this. What do you think is the main reason on why dishes and techniques vary from cuisine to cuisine? The dishes and techniques.
Mostly
Why is it changing?
Mostly because spices are endemic and abundant in geographic regions or of a certain cuisine. Usually the technique is passed from generation to generation and is attached to the culture.
Yeah. How about you, Gwenn?
It's
What do you
also
think?
about the difference in technology and modern culture of different countries that affects their techniques. For example, people located in the province usually go for home-style cooking and conventional techniques, while people in the city usually go for the automatic equipment and fast track techniques.
I wonder why I usually eat home cooked. I'm from the province, by the way. Anyway, so thank you very much for that, Gwen. So I've really been wondering, are the techniques and terminologies in cooking or in culinary universal? Given we're discussing the differences in cuisines, in culture, are the techniques, the terms universal? So I'm gonna flash some words on the screen or pictures, and please answer if you think this terminology is from your cuisine, or if it's general or universal.
Blanch. Yeah, blanch is a quick plunging boiling water as for salads.
Is that the same for all?
Salads.
Okay, so blanch is universal. Next.
I'm not sure. It is the dish of the day.
Okay, is that the term for everybody? Yeah. Okay, so the same so far. Next. Sauces.
Sauces is liquid base.
I assume that's universal.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, next.
Seasoned prepared.
It's not. Can you please share with us why?
Yeah, because sauces in Asian cuisine is very open to all. Because in Asia, you can use sauces as dips. You can use sauces in preparing food. You can actually place it in tables. But in Europe, especially in France again, we cannot put sauces in the tables. We have to put it in the dish. Sauces comes in the preparation, not in the eating.
Okay, so since we're running out of time, I'd like to move on. So basically, you agree with me that most terminologies are universal, but there are those exceptions, right? It's like this one who I thought that's like the sauce who I thought was, I don't know, universal, and it's not. Okay, so, wait, let's move on since we're running out of time. Okay. I'd like to move here. I like this part, this question part. Okay. I think everybody will be interested about these questions because this has been bothering me for years. Okay, so I have a few questions here in my cards, and I think they're one of the dumbest questions for you guys from the industry. And I really want to hear the answers from you. Okay, first, I think you should answer this, Gwen, or you. Are French fries really French? Because they seem to be noticeable more in the US rather than in France, but it's called French fries. Can you please?
This is because, first of all, I think for me, French fries is really Belgian.
Belgian.
Yeah.
Those
Because
Belgian fries.
the Belgians are claiming that they're the one who invented it. But when it is invented, there is no Belgian language yet. They only speak French. So it was thought, and because of the French culinary hegemony, it was thought to be made by the French.
Interesting. But how come it's popularized in the United States?
Because French fries turned to be a commercial type of dish. But if French fries is known as pommes frites in France.
Pommes frites. You guys are learning new terms again. Pommes frites. Okay, so based on what Jerv said, it's origins is Belgian, but it's just called French fries because there was no Belgian word language yet. And then the fries are popularized in the United States, basically by McDonald's. Right? Okay, so that clears it up. So another question: is the classic cheesecake really from New York?
I think I'll answer that question. Well, New York cheesecake is just a variation of cheesecake, and it's not the origin of cheesecakes.
Yeah, actually, Glenn, it is actually included in Mediterranean cuisine, specifically Greek cuisine.
It's Greek. Okay.
Yeah, the ancient Greeks were the ones who invented cheesecake, together with our famous yogurt.
Well, that's something new. Okay, how about this one, guys? California macaroni. Wow, that's my favorite. Really great macaroni. Is it American or Japanese? Japanese.
There is no definite answer for that, but I can definitely say that I can explain its origin. Japanese chefs migrated in LA, and they wanted to catch the attention of the American market by creating a more familiar dish from the Japanese cuisine. That's why the alteration of the original sushi roll recipe turned out to be called California mac. So we keep it the origin of.
So it's a marketing strategy of these Japanese people catering to the Western market, okay? Interesting. Okay, so that clears things up too. Okay, so those are the questions that have been bothering me for eternity. I'm sure you guys are happy that those questions are already cleared up in your mind. So the next time you go to a Japanese restaurant, you already know that, hey, this is really from Japan. It's just marketed to the United States. That's why it's called California Man. Okay, well, the final question is, I'd like to ask you guys, which I gave these questions to you backstage while you were outside a while ago so that you can have a unified question, is despite the various differences of different cuisines around the world, do you think there is one cuisine or dish that connects all cultures?
We have all concluded that the answer is water.
What?
We're just kidding.
You better be kidding. Water is connecting us all.
Yeah, well, the real thing is, we have concluded that dessert courses are actually the greatest connection that we could use to connect cultures.
Oh, interesting. Okay. So you're saying that dessert again? Is that right?
Dessert courses.
Because desserts are usually universally sweet in nature. Unlike savory dishes, we have sweet and sour, we have sweet, we have salty, we have spicy. But for desserts, for all over the world, we have only sweet for desserts. And there are a lot of variation of desserts in the whole world that has different names but the same characteristics.
I'm trying to think of a dessert that isn't sweet, just to give you a counter argument. No? Is the audience able to identify a dessert that isn't sweet?
Well, we have this spicy sweet.
Spicy sweet, but still
Yeah.
sweet.
In Thailand.
I see. How about you guys? Do you know any dessert that isn't sweet? What?
That's not sweet.
What's sherbet? Did I hear you right?
Lemon ice cream.
Ah.
Philippines. It's not sweet.
Okay.
It's
The
just
chef
ice.
still says it's sweet.
That's
Anyway, let's not argue with the chef. He's the chef. Anyway, okay. So that was indeed a very good answer. That dessert may connect all cultures, okay? Because everybody has a sweet tooth anyway. So, well, we have this short video to show you. As an advocacy of what the food industry wants to tell everyone. Do we have a video? Yes, do we have a video? Don't worry guys, if you haven't eaten your breakfast and if our topic today got you hungry, we have prepared a surprise for you. We made California Madness. No, just kidding. But we made something. There's no video? Okay, unfortunately we're suffering some technical difficulties. So, yeah, there's no video to press. Okay, so that's it. So food, just to summarize everything, so food is an iconic representation of culture based on what each of these icons from the food industry has shared with us today. It's an item for survival, a piece of art, a connection across cultures. So we must value and learn not to waste it. The heritage of food and culinary, we must value it, especially here in the Philippines. So we would like to open the floor for any questions that may have been bothering our audience, if there is any. You don't have any questions? Would you like to know what our surprise dish is? Okay, so we don't have any questions from our audience. So, yes, ma'am.
In Cuisine of France,
You need the microphone.
now I can say,
Okay, thank you.
in Cuisine of France, is there rice involved or not?
Actually, there are some dishes that rice is involved. It depends on which plat de principal are you going to prepare.
So it's more on fried or just plain rice?
For
Or exotic cuisine in France?
what do you mean?
Principal, yes.
Fried or
Fried or plain rice?
It's asking if it's fried rice or
actually-
plain rice.
Actually, there are no fried rices in France. Only steamed rice or rice with some sauces on top.
Obviously bread, right? Or pasta.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Well, thank you very much, sir, for that question, for clarifying that one. Do you have any more questions? Yes, sir. My favorite volunteer. Yes.
What's a souffle?
Souffle.
Yes.
Okay, it's a Frenchy word, so easy to answer that.
Souffle is actually a very soft chocolate mousse-like cake. That it is actually compared to a softer version of chocolate cake or molio à pomme. But souffle is a more careful dish actually.
Okay, so you thank me. I flew all these chefs all the way from France, from Europe, from Asia, from here, and from America. You know, they all know these things. So ask away. Have any more questions? You want to ask about burgers or whatnot? Yes.
If you guys could choose one cuisine which is not your own, what dish would you choose?
Okay, if you were to choose one cuisine that is not your own, which would you choose? Let's start with Mr. Takashi. Quickly.
Gwenn's.
Gwen's is that a cuisine? Just kidding. It's American cuisine.
Yeah, right. Because it's really weird and it depends on this pop culture.
Okay.
For me, because I used to eat most of the time American food, I would choose American food also.
American food. Okay. 2-0.
Actually, in cooking, I don't want to substitute my cuisine, but if I am to eat, I would choose Gwenn.
Oh, you're gonna. Okay, never mind. Go.
Thank you guys. But since I like being healthy, I think I'll choose the Mediterranean cuisine.
Nice. All right. As for me, I like Asian, specifically Japanese. Okay, so that's the end of our segment for today. Thank you very much for viewing the Fat Kid Outside. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and for our surprise dish, the surprise dish reveal. Miss, happy Valentine's Day. I don't know. It's our imported chef from France made that.
It's from France?
Yeah, I suppose.
Actually, it's a
Yeah.
mixture of all the cultures.
Okay, so as long as the kuya back there doesn't take a video of you
I
eating
know.
here.
I don't think we should be eating here.
Yeah.
We can eat it after. I'm just getting a picture.
Okay, thank you very much for that.